Yes, so it's happened. A state of emergency has been declared in River State. The River State governor, his deputy, and all assembly members are hereby sacked. Don't be said and just suspend them. They are sacked for 6 months by the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. Well, that's the gist we have this evening for you, plus other issues that we may have to look at this evening. My name is Precious Ingi. Now, this is Update with Precious. It's always with a great pleasure that I welcome you to the show. And joining me in the studio this evening, I tried to get Barrister Ikine join me this evening, but Barrister Ikine could not oblige my invitation. I really wanted him to give us a legal perspective to the conversation. Since you guys will not let me have Barrister Sim Adams in this conversation tonight, but let's see. Hopefully, he would feel up to it in a short while and still join the conversation as we move on. Joining me is Prince Francis Chilaka. Prince Francis, thank you so much for standing by, and thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Thank you very, very immensely for being part of the show. I appreciate your efforts all the time, for making the show what it is. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And for everyone joining this show, feel free to join the conversation. I'll be dropping the link to this conversation on the pinned post. So kindly just look through the pinned post and then feel free to join the conversation. Click on that link. It will bring you direct you straight to the studio to join the conversation. Better still, you can call the WhatsApp number that is open to you there to join the conversation. As I said earlier, my name is Precious Ingi. So we'll be looking at some issues this evening. First on our lineup of conversation, President Bola Tinubu declares a state of emergency in River State, sacks Deputy Governor Fubara. All elected officials of River State have been hereby sacked. That is the latest news for 6 months. And then another pipeline explosion rocks River State. We told you that earlier. Nigerian Judiciary corruption reading better in military era, OBS Ekwesili says so. And earlier, River State, because of River State crisis, Tinubu service chiefs, IGP in closed-down meeting. But I guess this state of the nation address is the outcome of that meeting. Nigeria's judiciary corruption reading, I said that before. Yeah, that's what OBS Ekwesili said. Moving on, Rivers crisis, how we averted bloodshed in Abalama. IYC says so. And then Rivers crisis, sack Wike now or lose 2027 re-election. Ijo youth tell Tinubu. Unfortunately, Oga Tinubu no here now. You don't declare state of emergency, so forget about that. Senate passes bill seeking TikTok, Meta, X, others to have offices in Nigeria for second reading. That is, as I talk to you like this, I figure office for Nigeria now, unless I'm not going to be blogger again, Abi. Okay, or maybe I'm not going to talk for social media. Okay, Tinubu others would have protested against NYC for threatening copper Uguamaye while in opposition. Tommy says so. Say it to say that Tinubu dey opposition. Say them for don't protest for this thing. What did they do this NYC girl? And then Nigerian policemen, soldiers attack Enugu community women protesting against herdsmen killings, injure several persons. I did tell you that a community in Enugu state have been protesting against the killing of herdsmen. Guess what? Nigerian policemen don't attack the people. Why on they complain about herdsmen killing? Why on they to complain? They don't attack them. Injure a lot of them. All right, so, and here is an exclusive conversation. Boko Haram terrorists invade Yobe communities, give residents 7 days to relocate. They don't overtake Yobe now. Say 7 days to relocate, or we will deal with it now. Now, this is not the crisis we will get for hand for inside Nigeria. Speaking about Nnamdi Kanu, he is to defend himself in court as trial resumes March 21. These are the hot topics that we have. Oh my goodness, but we would love to take a short breather. When we return, we'll begin to dissect these and other issues right after this break. Stay with us. This is Updates with Precious, and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back. This is still Updates with Precious. That's usual. It is a great pleasure to have you on the show, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get started with a conversation about River State very quickly. So, the president, Bola Tinubu, today has declared a state of emergency in River State. The president made the announcement in a nationwide broadcast today, Tuesday. And by that announcement, he's therefore sacked the governor of the state, Siminalayi Fubara, and all appointed and all elected officials, including the deputy governor. Quoting him, he says, by the declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odo, and all elected members of the House of Assembly of Rivers State are hereby suspended for an initial, that means if you extend them again, initial period of 6 months, he said in a nationwide broadcast today, Tuesday. I'd like us to quickly take a listen to the president saying this so that we come back and have Prince Francis Chilaka jumping on the conversation.
It has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odo, and all elected members of the House of Assembly State are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Advocate Ibas, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state in the interests of the good people of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in accordance with their constitutional mandate. The administrator will not make any new laws. He will, however, be free to formulate regulations and may be found necessary to do his job, but such regulations will need to be considered and approved by the Federal Executive Council and promoted by the President for the state. This declaration has been published in the Federal Gazette, a copy of which has been forwarded to the National Assembly in accordance with the Constitution. It is my fervent hope that this inevitable intervention will help to restore peace and order in Rivers State by awakening all the contenders to the constitutional imperatives, binding on all political players in the Rivers State in particular and Nigeria as a whole.
Now, Prince Francis Chilaka, you have heard what the president said. Michael, no need to even speak plenty English inside the matter. You don't hear what's in the president talk. Now, a lot of people, they of the opinion, say the president is now also an elected official for inside the country. As a president and as person where they elected, I be they wait for a lawyer to join us so that he will state this thing. But a few lawyers who I don't talk to the vex, and lawyers don't let them make them put him out for the matter. And in fact, a few of them said that there is no law in Nigeria. That Nigeria is a lawless place. They told me over the phone, but they're just too angry, too upset to jump in on this conversation tonight. I wish they would oblige me to jump in so that we can enlighten and educate Nigerians. But do you think that the president, being an elected member, has the constitutional right to suspend other elected officials, a chief executive of a state? And then let me just take your overall reaction of what's going on in Rivers State, sir.
Well, for me, I'm not from Rivers State, but I'll say that this is the darkest moment for the people of Rivers State. Darkest in the sense that the political gladiators in Rivers State did not see the handwriting on the wall. If you recall, severally I've told you that this issue, this problem in Rivers State, this fight between Wike, the governor, and the 27 House of Assembly members, I saw it coming. I said to you, I said, it's going to lead to declaration of state of emergency. And, you know, it has happened. So for me, this is not the first time a state of emergency has been declared. If you have followed the political trajectory of Nigeria, you remember that I think during the time of Jonathan also, he declared a state of emergency as well. So it's not something that is new, you know. And if you ask me, honestly speaking, I would say that Mr. President, in as much as he claims to have acted or claims to have tried so hard to resolve the issue at stake in Rivers State, he was doing it from a biased point of view. And when I say bias, everybody who saw the body language of Mr. President knew that Mr. President was taking sides with the FCT minister, Wike, on this. And you cannot say you want to resolve an issue when you have taken sides with one of the parties. And that is what has led to what we have today. If you recall, I think it was on Saturday or so, where Wike went to Abalama, which is actually more like the heart of the Ijos, and made some very, very unacceptable declarations. And for me, that was a call for war. Honestly speaking, that was a call for war. Wike took this thing too far. Wike was acting like an emperor in a state where you have a governor, and everybody kept quiet. Even Mr. President kept quiet. And this quietness of Mr. President was as a result of the 2027 election that is coming up. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, I agreed. What has played out in Rivers State is that this state of emergency has proven that the governor and all the political gladiators have not been able to pilot the affairs of the state. And I'll tell you, Precious, I believe that this whole thing was pre-planned. It was just that the president was waiting for the right time to make this pronouncement, but it was pre-planned. It didn't take them much. It didn't take them time to declare state of emergency. But you and I are in this. I'm coming. Okay. You and I are in this country where bandits, terrorists are terrorizing some states to the point that they're giving notices to some local governments within a state to vacate.
I just made an announcement of
insecurity.
You're basically right now, they're giving notice.
We're talking about insecurity that is almost about consuming the entire country. And the federal government has not seen the need to declare a state of emergency in our security architecture. They have not seen the need to declare a state of emergency in troubled states. So what it shows is that it points to the fact of what Oshomole said a few weeks back, that the hand with which the federal government addresses issues in the oil producing areas is not the same hand they're using to address issues in other parts of this country.
Okay, sir.
What has been happening in the Southeast? What has been happening in the Southeast before now? At the point, people were saying there is need to declare a state of emergency when unknown gunmen were having a field day.
Yes.
Nobody did that. So it is just because Port Harcourt or Rivers State is the goose that lays the golden egg, and the government does not want to lose that golden egg, and they decided that we need to nip this in the bud. And by doing this, honestly, it is a slap on Wike. It's a slap on all those who have participated in truncating democratic rule in Rivers State.
All right, so a lot of people will complain. You mentioned the Southeast. A lot of people would say that there are communities and local government areas in Imo State precisely that have been almost under siege, like the Olu local government area, for instance. That area has been under siege. Why hasn't there been state of emergency declared in that part of Imo State? Is it because the governor of that state is an APC governor? That's what a lot of people will say. And just like you mentioned, in some states in Nigeria, we've seen the activities of bandits and Boko Haram in Zamfara. We've seen that happen in, Niger State. We've seen that happen in Kaduna State. We've seen all of. In fact, Kaduna State just negotiated with bandits. They agree with them, sit down, negotiate. After they negotiate, reach 2 weeks where Kaduna State negotiate with bandits. The bandits strike again, kidnap people again, kill people again. So even with that, also they enough for the president to declare state of emergency for all these places. We could talk about them, then we could begin to talk about the strength of our military to handle these issues.
You see, we must be very sincere with ourselves in this country. Nigeria, the only people in Nigeria that preach oneness, that preach unity, are the poor and the downtrodden. The political class do not understand what unity and oneness is. The political class only understands what they are going to benefit from the system. Because if you take what has played out in Rivers State in the last how many, maybe 1 year or going to 2 years now, you will understand that the gladiators did not take the people into consideration. It was all about them. And that is why I'm upset with our political class. And that is why I've always said that the political class are not looking at history. They are not studying history to know when to do the right thing and to know when to think as if there is no box. Yes, other states in Nigeria have had terrible situations that has called for declaration of state of emergency. But these states will not be declared. Why? One, political party affiliation. You cannot look at a state where APC is a governor and declare it a state of emergency. Two, the interest. What is the state? What are these states bringing to the federal? When you talk of in terms of IGR, revenue generation, to the federal purse, what percentage is Imo State bringing? What percentage are the states in the north?
So the value not too plenty like that, Cha.
They have no value significantly. So, but the states where they are having, look at what is happening in Lagos, for instance. You can see how the governor, the president is taking time to resolve the problem in Lagos State House of Assembly. Because if anything happens to Lagos, revenue to federal government will drop. And the federal government does not want that to happen in Rivers State. Because Rivers State, as I said, is the goose that lays the golden egg.
Golden egg. Okay, so now, do you think that our military has the capacity to handle these issues, considering pockets of violence happening in every part of the country? I just told you now in the news that bandits have warned people of Yobe State and told them, hey, I give on got some communities in Yobe State and told them I would give on this number of time, not gonna pack on a load, jejeli. Boko Haram, not gonna pack on a load, jejeli, live on a community because go finish on her. Is it not enough for the military to do a total takeover of such community? Now, with this violence, what happen now for Yobe, for different areas, south, northeast, northwest, southeast, and all this area, do you think that our military would still have the capacity to face this issue in River State? Considering also, say, this Niger Delta boys, them, even I said, and guess more coconut headed. If you remember the things they did during their address administration.
Well, you see, the truth is always bitter. It's a bitter pill to take. The military we have today is not the disciplined military that Nigerians used to be proud of. The military we have today, they are not disciplined. They too, the rank and file, it's all about how much they are going to make. So there's corruption in the military. And as because you are corruption in the military, it's going to be difficult for the military to be able to curb all this pocket of, crisis coming up. Are you going to withdraw the military you have in the north to the south, and then you leave the north vulnerable? Or are you going to withdraw the ones you have in the southeast to the south, and you leave the southeast vulnerable? It's a very difficult decision for the military to make right now. And that is why I have always said, it is better to JoJo than to war. But the people in Rivers State, the political gladiators in Rivers State, did not see the wisdom in that. Especially Wike, who has turned himself into an emperor. How can you, a former governor, be holding a current governor by the jugular? And these so-called state of assembly members, They suddenly reduced themselves to puppets. They had no common sense. They could not reason on their own to know that this line we are towing is not best for the people that have elected them to represent them. So, in all of this, the Rivers people are the ones going to suffer it.
All right, so looking at things like this that has happened in the past, before we get to the place of the role that Wike played, because a lot of people in Rivers State don't like in Wike attitude to be say in pain and say in the one using in life Fubara to get in third tenor, makes him just day there as we go ahead, may not him the rule the state through sim for another third time. But his problem is that it didn't work out that way. But let's look at the times that this kind of state of emergency has been declared in the state. I think state of emergency was declared. Obasanjo sacked the Plateau State governor. Exactly. That was some time ago. Yes, exactly. So we saw that happen. I think that was in Darie, right, at that time. And then that happened. I think in 2014 also, or thereabouts, or 2000 or so, it also happened to there was a state of emergency in Ekiti State. Then it was Peter Fayoshe's tenure too. Stuff like that happened. And but I've really forgotten how long that lasted. But do you see the present frail Nigeria being able to manage this issue in River State without this escalating to other parts of the state, considering the fact that people are already very angry with the inflation and all the pain and penury where people don't talk, say this administration, they caused them already? You feel, say, a military could really handle this thing without the thing escalating?
Well, the thing is that the president acted too late.
Too late or too quick?
No, he acted too late. Acted too late in the sense that he had what it takes to nip the crisis in the bud. It will not cost the president anything to ask Wike to withdraw from attacking the governor. It will not cost the president anything to ask the State House of Assembly members to embrace peace. Don't also forget that when Mr. President invited Fubara and Wike to the villa, when he tried to resolve the matter, and when he gave the 8-point agenda, if you listen very well, the president took time.
Hello, can you hear me? Prince Francis Chilaka.
To admonish the governor. No, I'm on. It took time to admonish the governor. Now, when the Supreme Court was going to give their own judgment as well, they also took time to admonish the governor.
Absolutely. So it looks like they were all reprimanding the governor. Excuse me.
In the governor. Exactly. So you cannot say you're trying to make peace. And like I said, what the president did at that time was peace of the graveyard. It wasn't a peace with a human face. So as it is today, River State has gone under. The question is, which state next? Maybe the next state is going to be Kano because of this tussle over emirship.
So do you think that this in line with so do you think, I was going to say that, do you think that this is in line with what the National Working Committee, the chairman of the APC, said about them, the APC ability to kidnap and capture all states? Do you think that this may be what is happening?
It is not only this, it's not only the national chairman that have said that. Even Mr. President have said that. I remember before Edo election, when he asked the people if they want Edo State, and they said yes, and he delivered Edo State to the people. So the whole idea is that any state that is not listening to the dictates of APC is expected to go down. It's unfortunate, but that is the reality we are faced with. A lot of us have been shouting before now that there is need to declare a state of emergency in some northern states where Boko Haram and bandits are holding sway. We have been asking, why is it that this presidency have failed to return Nigerians who have been living in IDP camp back to their ancestral homes? But nobody's giving you an answer. So for me, I knew, I've always said it, I knew that this whole brouhaha, all this whole drama playing out in Rivers State was going to end in a state of emergency.
So now, what next for the people of Rivers State? Now, when they don't commode the democratically elected governor of the state, waiting will be the place of the people of Rivers State in this issue now. Now, when they don't commode their governor. And waiting you think say will happen. Do you see the Ateketoms of this world? Do you see the Asari Dokobors of this world? Do you see the Jack Riches of this world keeping calm because they go fear military, they no go feed do anything? And you also think, say, the military get the capacity to also quell their nerves or calm them down?
What you're going to see playing out is a situation where a lot of non-state actors are going to be activated right now, because everybody wants to get involved. Everybody will want to try to be in control of the state apparatus. So other than that, you're still going to see pockets of infighting going on. It's going to happen. You can't take that away. It's going to happen. So while the administrator is going to be trying to govern the state, you know, political joggers are going to come in. But let me say this. I do not see a peaceful resolution between now and the next 6 months. So the situation is going to get bad, because nobody is ready to shield their sword. Not the governor who has been suspended, not the State House of Assembly members, not even Wike, not even APC chairmen and non-chairmen who have been threatening, you know, thunder and brimstone all over the place. I hope those who have been asking for the impeachment of the governor, they are happy now that the state of emergency has been declared. Your mood.
Apologies. I did tell you earlier that somebody talked earlier today in an interview in another platform, a television station, say all these things we can do now in a bid for him to take charge as a third-time governor. And as seen, Fubara no given that opportunity to be a third-time governor. Now waiting the vex. Make we just listen to where this person talked this in earlier today.
Let me clarify this. Now, what Wike wanted was a situation where he would have a third term through the current governor of Rivers State. And the governor has looked at it that whatever the plans of the minister is not in the best interest of Rivers people. And that is why this is part of the reasons why you're seeing that there is a disagreement between the governor and the minister of the FCT. And that is why he has taken the stand to rather stand with the people of Rivers State than to stand with the FCT minister. That's why we're having these challenges today. Now, let me say this. I can't remember the last time we had, ever since we had Wike as governor of Rivers State, I can't remember the last time we had a free and fair election in Rivers State. By my own assessment and calculation, I can't remember the last time we had a free and fair election. We all know how Wike muscled his way through that particular election, how he stopped opposition from campaigning. Even the presidential candidate of the PDP was stopped from campaigning. And let me say this. I have always shouted about the high-handedness of the FCT minister in Rivers State and how he has led Rivers State and took Rivers State 10 years backward as governor. Today, we are seeing a glimpse of light, a gleam of light, and that light, he wants to quench that particular light because everything has to be about him. Today, anybody who does not support him, he wakes up in the morning, calls them names. As I speak to you today, they are after the chief judge of the state. This same chief judge is after today, who is actually referring and calling names. Of course, it was this same governor who appointed the chief judge. The Speaker of the House of Assembly was then the leader of the House of Assembly when this current chief judge was screened as the chief judge of the state. But what did they do? They did not remember that he actually falsified his age. Now that the man seemed not to play ball with them because they want to impeach the governor, They now remember that, oh, he falsified his age. They are now coming up with age falsification, trying to intimidate the chief judge, to bend him towards whatever their whims and caprices. That we will resist. That we will say no to. And it's actually unfortunate. See, what is happening in Rivers State is just Wike wanting to be in control of everything happening in the state. And if you're not in line with whatever he's doing, you're a bad person, you don't have character, you don't keep to your word, and all that. But we all know who does not have character in Rivers State. Wike is somebody who will say something in the morning, and in the afternoon he's saying something else. All his principles, everything he has fought against in his time as governor, he has gone against them. None of his principles has he kept. This same man, none of his principles has he kept. So today, if you're not doing his bidding, if you're not in line with whatever he's saying, oh, you're a charlatan, you don't have character, you don't have integrity. He's the only person who has integrity. Yet, we have records.
Okay, all right. We don't hear him waiting if he talk. So I'd like you to react to waiting this man talk. Sir, please.
Asking somebody to obvious truth. I don't know what you want me to react to. I mean, we saw the things Wike said before the 2023 elections. We saw how he said that if you say you want to continue with Buhari's legacy, what legacy has Buhari given to Nigerians? Are you going to continue with failure? So all those things he said, he has forgotten about them. And he has joined APC indirectly, and he has joined failure. So Wike is a man who speaks from two sides of the mouth. Wike is a man who is power drunk. Wike is a man who is greedy and selfish. All he thinks about is himself. So all the crisis that has happened my annoyance, so to say, with Rivers State people is the State House of Assembly members who suddenly don't have a say. They don't have a mind of their own.
Well, rumors have been making the round that even Amehule is Wike's cousin. So, I mean, there is a family affiliation there. Let me
bust your bubble. Do you realize that what the State House of Assembly wanted to do was to impeach the governor, impeach the deputy, and then the speaker will now be sworn in as governor? That was what they were planning. Because if you're impeaching the governor, you're impeaching the deputy governor, who is next? Is the speaker. So the speaker was preparing himself to become the governor of the state. How wicked, how clueless can people be? So now that they've all been suspended for 6 months, let's see how they're going to manage it.
So how would they manage it? Is it not also giving Wike victory? Understanding that Wike is the key player in this act. Why not also suspend Wike from being an FCT minister? Is it too much to ask? So that everybody who did this game remains and stands in, suspended. So that make all of them find where they go settle their matter, make governors go through. Is it too difficult for the president to understand, or is it denying the fact that Wike is culpable in this way they happen, or complicit, being their hand and leg, and even the whole body inside? Or is it that he's just giving Wike leverage because he's too scared? Does Wike have anything on the president? We're going to make the president not take action against the Wike too.
It's not about having anything on the president. It's about the president himself not focusing on governance and thinking of 2027. This whole shenanigans happening across Nigeria is about 2027.
In 2025, when people cannot even.
It's about 2027. When your politicians, when your political class, when they get elected into office and get sworn in, they start thinking of the next election. They don't think about governance. They don't think about the people. And that is why I keep saying to the Nigerian people, so long as you keep collecting this wretched cup of rice, balls of onions, noodles, maybe 5,000 or 10,000, the politicians will continue to take advantage of you. Because there is what we call institutionalized poverty. When the people are poor, the small largesse from the political class becomes heaven for them. And Nigerian politicians understand this. And that is why when you elect them, they do not do anything tangible to add value to the lives of the Nigerian people. All they do is to collect, continue to impoverish the people, continue to make them poor, continue to make them hungry, so that at the end of the day, a hungry man, 1,000 naira means a lot to him. 5,000 naira means a lot to him. You can see the shenanigans going on between the Senate President and Natasha. You can see how women are being paraded and they're protesting. And in the protest, they don't even know what they're protesting about. So that's the problem. It's poverty. And unfortunately, we just don't have poverty of the stomach. We have poverty of the brain in Nigeria.
So do you think that what the president may have just done is just to pay back because to Wike for his loyalty? Because remember, say during election, we get a lot of evidence from different groups, I think including Premium Times and other platforms, I mean BBC too, on how Wike used rig election, especially for the presidency, in favor of Tinubu. So do you think that this is just a payback in appreciation of the effort we put in place to...
It's not only a payback, it's a continuous process. Because the president knows that if Wike loses structure, see, let me tell you, if Fubara, as a governor of Rivers State, had concentrated just on being a governor and not bothered about structure, I am telling you, you will not have problem with Wike. It's all about structure. If you recall, structure almost cost Fashola second term in Lagos. Structure cost Ambode second term in Lagos. So it's about structure. And if you listen to the body language of Mr. President, when they said he addressed Obasa and the other Lagos State House of Assembly member, he said to Obasa, go and do your speakership and forget every other thing.
Meaning say forget structure too, Abi?
Forget structure. Just go and be speaker. And it was the same thing that was said to Fubara when he said, obey the judgment of the Supreme Court. Well, a judgment that a lot of people are faulting right now. So when he said, obey the judgment of the Supreme Court, what he's saying is, go and be a governor and forget the structure. Because it is a structure that the politicians use to rig election. And that is why they can do anything to sustain that structure. And that is why Wike is doing everything humanly possible to control the structure in Rivers State.
All right. Okay. So for everyone watching us, you can join the studio right now. So there is a link by the pinned post in the comment section. Click that link, it will direct you to the studio. But if you get an error message, which you're likely to get, I have just noticed, because some people are complaining that they can't access the studio. If you get an error message, just refresh the page again. Go home or click on home, refresh the page again, and it will refresh, and then it will show you the studio. You input your name and all that, and then you can access the studio to have your say. Better still, you can also call the WhatsApp line that is attached to that pinned post. If you call the WhatsApp line, you'll be able to speak with us live here in the studio and be able to have your say. The WhatsApp number is open. It's also by the pinned post. It's 0817-029-4077. 0817-029-4077. Just call, make we feel your pulse. And they try to get through to lawyers and some people for inside Port Harcourt River State to feel their mind and their pulse, to know how this whole situation they make them feel, and to get to know what's in the atmosphere be like for River State. But at the meantime, to even know whether the governor don't be prepared to leave the government house, it's important that that would happen, because I know that ordinarily the governor will be giving a notice, a time, number of time to move his things and all that and leave the government house. And every other person working with him too would also have to quit the government house. And of course, the military administrator, Right Admiral Ibon Eket Abbas, would also, move in with his team to the River State government house. What we do not know right now, we never know how these so-called Ijaw boys, these so-called Igbesu boys, will handle the situation. Now, we don't know how, because we do know how much the Yar'Adua administration tried to even stop them the time where we said the media attack. And we know how difficult it been for Yar'Adua them to fit, Yar'Adua presidents that time to handle the situation. So we do not know what the plans of these militants will be moving forward. But what we can tell you for sure is that there was another did I say Bombla pipeline another explosion of a pipeline earlier today, and this one is at a pipeline manifold in Bodo community in Ogba Igbima Ndoni local government area of the state. That's where it happened. Ogba Igbima is almost like an opposite direction from where that of Ogoni in Bodo City happened. So it looks like it's happening, randomly in the state. Now the explosion, which was recorded today, Tuesday evening, comes just hours after a similar incident rocked the Trans Niger Pipeline operated by Shell in Bodo, Gokana Local Government Area of the state. And this is one of the reasons, perhaps, where the president just vexed saying a lie, state of emergency must be declared, because this whole thing would affect the resources of the state. The resources of the state could be affected. Now, what happens to the salary of both the lawmakers, the governor, his appointees, and all of those throughout this period of the suspension?
Suspension without pay.
Clearly now.
Suspension without pay. Let them go and rest. Let them go and rest. This is what the State Assembly members wanted. But I'm sure they didn't plan for a state of emergency. They are hoping that, they will beat all the process and just impeach the governor, and then impeach the governor, impeach the deputy governor, and swear in the speaker as the governor. But unfortunately, things have not worked out the way they planned. So everybody should go home and re-strategize and begin to think. I can assure you that
this is actually one of their plans too, because there is no way they will have only plan A or B.
How would they know? B to Z. They will not benefit. See, nobody benefits from a state of emergency.
But which
so
is
it's not like
benefiting, because it's still the minister.
It's not.
And if he's cordial with the military administrator, he would still remain cordial. He would still have a hand and a say.
No, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. I can assure you, Precious, I can assure you now that there is a state of emergency. Wike will not continue with that madness he was exhibiting. Because don't forget that you now have a military man in power, and he will not take rubbish. Except he's a dollar. He will not accept a situation where Wike will come and talk rubbish in Rivers State again. He will not accept that. What you have now in Rivers State is a complete military rule. Pure and simple. That's the meaning of state of emergency. So anything the man is going to do, he's going to appoint the military behind him to enforce order. But I can assure you that if it becomes an issue of fighting with those guys in the creeks, it's going to be difficult. Everybody in Nigeria knows what Yaradua went through. And everybody in Nigeria who is sincere know why the NDDC was established and know why the amnesty program was equally established. So what has happened now is Wike has thrown the efforts of everyone into the dustbin just because he wants to control a governor. And that is why we need to end this godfatherism in our politics.
Do you think do you think the judiciary has been complicit in this? Because obviously Ekwesili said something about the judiciary.
Today I was reading a lot of articles today, and everybody kept talking about the book published by Dele Farotimi.
Farotimi, yes.
Yes. And my own analysis of that book, it's not about Babalola. It's just that unfortunately he had to use him as to make an illustration of what he was saying. But the truth of what is in that book is that the Nigerian judiciary has been brought to the gutters. They have allowed the politicians to rubbish them. And it will take the grace of God for them to be able to get themselves out of the hand of the political class.
All right, so speaking about the judiciary, earlier today, former Education Minister Obiese Ekwesili on Tuesday rebuked the nation's judiciary, saying it has become a laughingstock and its current crop of justices fell below their counterparts in the military era who upheld the sanctity of the law. Now, Ms. Ezekwesili said that the judiciary during the military regime was far better than today's, who she claimed have sold out the country to highest bidding politicians. That's what she talked. Said today judiciary don't sell out the country to the highest bidding politician. Now, the reason we make I raise this judiciary issue now because of what Asari talk about the military and the Supreme Court judgment where they cost us trouble for inside River State right now. It gave waiting Asari talk and I waiting make I raise this judiciary issue with us or be the talk. In fact, quoting her, she says, "We once had an unimpeachable judiciary, even in the days of military rule in this country." She said, "I said, does Nigeria still have judiciary or a judiciary? Or are you talking of group of people who have willingly sold out the country to ignoble politicians and desecrated the judicial system that we once knew?" Okay, she had a lot to say about it. And then Mujahid Asari Dokubo had an interview yesterday with Channels Television where he did say something about the Supreme Court judgment that is causing this issue right now in Rivers State. Let's take a listen to him.
I'm not going to call the pronouncement of the Supreme Court a judgment because there is nothing that the pronouncement of the Supreme Court said that had anything to do with the law in Nigeria. It's a total abuse of the law of Nigeria. Everybody knows, all of us know that the Supreme Court is supposed to be final arbiter. The words of the Supreme Court are final. So the Supreme Court not assumed that because their words are final, they will import into these powers that they do not have. Morally depraved decisions that are clearly against the Constitution and the people of Nigeria. We're not just talking about Rivers State. For instance, does the Supreme Court really have jurisdiction to adjudicate on issues concerning local government elections? It's very clear. Local government elections adjudication ends at Court of First Instance, which is the High Court. So where did the Supreme Court derive its power? In making pronouncement on elections, post-elections litigation arising from the elections in Rivers State. Number two, how would the Supreme Court talk about something and adjudicate on a matter that was not before her? Can the Supreme Court go on a flurry of its own to import matters that were not before her and start to make decisions on those matters? The issue of defection was not before the Supreme Court. The issue of defection is still at the High Court. So how did the Supreme Court get those matters into the Supreme Court to make pronouncement on it? Other than that, there were people behind the scene dictating to the Supreme Court what the Supreme Court ought to say. So they have said it. And I think the governor was in a haste to have accepted the judgment.
So you heard that, Prince Francis Chilaka. He said the governor was in a haste to accept the judgment. Do you agree that the governor was in a haste to accept the judgment? And do you agree that the Supreme Court clearly did some things that it wasn't supposed, that is beyond or not within its jurisdiction to do?
Well, I would come from the perspective of not being a lawyer. I'm going to look at it as a social critic. And if you look at it from a social critic, you would say that, one, the governor was not in a hurry to accept it because the governor had no choice. The governor, as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, was boxed into a corner. And he needed to obey. He needed to follow the directives of the Supreme Court. Talking about that judgment, it's something that everybody is worried about. It's like the judgment of number 4 coming to number 1. you ignore number 2, you ignore number 3, you jump to number 4, and then you take number 4 and make number 1. And the Supreme Court, in that judgment, talked about the State House of Assembly members not having not left the party or decamped. But everybody knows that they have decamped. You didn't need a soothsayer to tell you that these people have decamped. You didn't need a soothsayer to tell you that they had plans of impeaching the governor. You didn't need a soothsayer. So the question we should be asking the Supreme Court, the justices that sat and made a pronouncement, is that how come after their pronouncement, the State of Assembly initiated moves to impeach the governor? Does it not point to the fact that the Supreme Court, to a large extent, was also a party to the crisis in Rivers State? Because as far as we are concerned, it is the judgment of the Supreme Court that gave way for these honorable members to serve an impeachment notice on the governor. People have told you, we have left the party. We have left this party. Why is the Supreme Court insisting that they have not left the party? What does the Supreme Court stand to gain by insisting that these people must remain members of the party? Not forgetting one, that they have on their own said they have decamped from the party. 2, the PDP that brought them to power have written to INEC, asking INEC to declare those seats vacant. So why was the Supreme Court insisting that they are still members of PDP? Is that how democracy is run? Is that the kind of democracy we're talking about? Is that the kind of rule of law that we're talking about? So when you hear people like Obiok Pesile and Muhajid Dokubo talking about, throwing swipes at the judiciary have opened themselves up. They have opened themselves up for ridicule. And this is bound to happen. And, when the current CJN, I remember when she was being interviewed at the National Assembly. And she said she has come to clean up the mess of the judiciary. But until today, we have not seen any cleansing. What we are seeing is like what Buhari promised the people of Ogoni land, that they were going to clean the oil. 8 years after, the oil was still there. And that is what is happening with the judiciary. We are expecting more from the new CGN, but we're not getting anything.
All right, we don't know how this is going to fall out, but I've tried to get across to people in River State. Almost everybody for River State, they moody, nobody won't talk. The atmosphere just they
will not talk. Precious. It's a dark moment. It's a dark moment for a state like Rivers. It's a dark period. It is so shameful that a state like Rivers would reduce themselves to this mediocre level where a state of emergency is declared in Rivers State. So everybody in Rivers State is pained. River State people are mourning, and I join them to mourn because they have been denied good governance. They have been denied democracy.
All right, so I'm trying very hard to see how I can get reaction from River State, and it's been a bit difficult getting people to react to this conversation because everybody just feel very moody and they feel not quite up to ram to respond on this matter where they happen for inside River State. I don't know where this leaves us. I don't know how. Remember that the 6 months the president is talking about is for an initial period. You understand, and after that initial period, that means they could end up, announcing more time again, which there's a possibility that if it extend them to another 6 months again to 1 year. And after then, we don't know. Just like you said, if this is because we're looking at 2027, For how long will it continue? Is this a systematic way of easing off the governor who is not bending or succumbing to Wike's whims and caprices, as it were? Or what is likely going to happen? Or maybe they would not end up impeaching him if the nerves, if the atmosphere is a bit calm. How this one will use happen again? Because after, or you see these guys going back again to agitating further and blowing up more pipelines? Or do you even see this situation escalating? Because somebody like Shawarina don't talk, say state of emergency not supposed they only Nigeria. Say state of emergency, sorry, only River State. Say state of emergency supposed they the entire Nigeria. See what's in a tweet. He said like Obasanjo, like Tinubu, using state of emergency to pacify his criminals. And then he did say something else again. He said, wake up call. A state of emergency should be declared on the Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's regime, and Nigerians must recognize that that time for such action is now. So, do you think that this may perhaps just escalate further to another issue entirely? What do you see happening? And do you see having the capacity to calm
what has happened in River State is that River State has been captured by the federal might.
Capture.
It has been captured by the federal might. That is one. And two, I won't be surprised if before the end of this regime, more states will fall into that same state of emergency. I mentioned to you, I said, Kano, watch out. I'm looking at Kano. Seriously? I'm looking at Enugu, because Enugu is gradually becoming toxic. I thought Peter Mba was a man that would save his people, but suddenly Peter Mba has joined the group of people who are busy, trying to hold the people down.
Enugu people, they protest, so police don't arrest the women then for protesting against the killing of Fulani headsmen. That is police attack women who come protest. If Fulani headsmen, they kill us. They attack them. Instead of saving them from the hands of the Fulani headsmen, they're attacking them. Go ahead, sir. Let me let you finish what you were saying.
You see, the thing is that when you today I was watching a video of some of these Fulani headsmen who kidnapped somebody. The guy also speaks Hausa, and he was kidnapped. And come and see the way they were flogging this man. They were flogging him just to get his people to raise the bar of their ransom. And then, immediately my mind went back to my friend who was kidnapped as well along Shagamu and was beaten. An elderly man, should be in his 70s. The man was beaten like a child. So when people tell you, oh, we are being molested, we are being harassed, we are being abused, I don't know why, our governors fail to look into it. And I don't know why Nigeria has become a country where we don't have respect or regard for the women. We just treat the women like second-class citizens. Whether we like it or not, that is what Natasha is going through. She came out and said, I am being sexually harassed. And what is going on? Everybody, everywhere, they are throwing wind in the spanner. They are throwing spanner in the wind. They are saying, oh, she's this, she's a loose woman, So tell me the difference between what Natasha is going through and what the women in Enugu who are protesting, that they are being harassed, they are being abused by headsmen. Yet the military, the police that should protect them are going after them. Does that not show you that there's some form of insanity in governance in this country? So our leaders need to wake up. Our leaders need to understand that sovereignty belongs to the people. And the people must begin to wake up to realize that power belongs to them. If we make the political class to know that power belongs to us, I am telling you, they will develop this country. But so long as they have their way, they bribe you to come out and protest. They bribe you to carry placard. They bribe you not to talk, then this country will not move forward.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Chilaka. Apologies that I kept you talking for a while. But while we're still looking at this conversation, it's interesting that this is happening even after Wike had promised in the past that he would never interfere in the administration of his predecessor. He had been interviewed about this in the past, and he had this to say about it. Let's talk about it, and then let's go to other issues. By the way, and it's also interesting that this is happening at a time when in Nigerian youth, they talk about how bad or terrible the president Bola Tinubu administration did. And then this kind of thing they happen. Could this also speak to perhaps a bit of more terrible the administration is? I don't know. Even though some people in the president's cabinet are calling for her to be crucified, for death penalty on her, make she die by hanging and by firing squad, for daring to say that the president's administration is terrible. Right? But let's take a listen to Wike where he said that.
We've seen successors turn against their predecessors in politics.
Yes, yeah.
Would you be worried if that happens to you?
Why? Is he serving me? Was he born to serve me? He was born to serve the state. The problem we have, or leaders have, is that look, you succeeded in supporting the person to be in office, right? What you did, is it for him to fail or to succeed? You want you to come into your house to be taking orders? You want your wife to go into time, do this is what I want to do, not what. You see, once you have left office, you give yourself that respect. I say, I have done my own. If he wants my advice, it's okay. If he doesn't want my advice, it's okay. But for me to begin from day to day, telling him he must do this, he must do that, that is not acceptable. That's why people fail. They get, oh, you know, after I did this, so
yeah, you heard that, ta-da! Ta-da, yeah. Now we can talk with your two mouths. Now waiting they talk. So
you know,
waiting this thing.
You know why I'm laughing? They should play this. You see, if I was Fubara, and that is why I would say that Fubara never had the best team managing him in terms of the media.
Okay.
Yes, Fubara needs to go back to the drawing board and look for a good media team that will manage him even now that he's not in power. His media team were zero. They were sleeping. These are the kind of clips they should have been playing across board. Radio, TV, social media. Play those clips that reminds Wike of the things he said about not interfering in the administration of the state with a new governor. Play those things he said about APC. Play those things he said about this current president. Unfortunately, Nigeria is a country where we forget too easily. That's the truth. We forget too easily. Everything in Nigeria is politicized. So if you play this step now, I'm sure Wike will tell you, he will tell you, I don't remember talking about this. I don't remember, I'm not sure. They must have adulterated it or, you know, done some. But that is the kind of politicians we have in this country. That is the kind of leaders we have. Leaders who never say the truth. Leaders who run away from the truth. Leaders who believe in divide and rule. Leaders who believe that the people must continue to feed them until they enter their graves.
Thank you so much, Prince Francis Chilaka. So I have someone joining me from Port Harcourt, River State. He chooses to remain anonymous. Let's get to feel his pulse and find out what's going on in River State. Good evening. Thank you so much for obliging me. I don't try to talk to us where we're for River State. Everybody move just day down. What's the happen for River State right now? I'd like to understand what is the atmosphere like in River State at the moment.
So I'm going to speak English and Asian.
I beg mix some. That's all we mix some for here. Just now, Concord mixture. Go ahead.
All right, no. So as now you talk now, everywhere they come.
Everywhere they quiet.
Because, yes, very quiet.
Quiet like say people just they happy they quiet for their house, or quiet like say they like that way they announce election around 4 o'clock in the morning. Now that kind of quiet.
Like that, you know. because the news just a filter in, so many people don't even understand. In fact, that's why they talk about 15 minutes ago, somebody called me. They tell me about something. Now they tell us, bro, they don't declare state of emergency. So it's not true, because people never really understand. We don't understand the grounds now for the state of emergency. I don't go through the president transcript. I don't listen to Ram. I'm waiting for the states. And whether they decide or not, if you listen to the president, you will conclude the very biased statements and state address. Because all the blame he put on the governor. He just point out, the governor not fight himself. Nobody know the people where they lead the 27 lawmakers where they fight the governor. But for that speech, now only the governor side that he mentioned. But when he even point out the 27 lawmakers, he stylishly said they don't want meat. For the past 1 week or so, the government is trying to present the budget. When they don't fight over since budget, 2024, now illegal spending. Now, for all these reasons, now the president will give the governor time. Even if they don't declare state of emergency, it's more than we know about the constitution. The governor gets first rights to say, Mr. President, so what is happening for my state to for this reason, I want the state of emergency. Now, the president don't turn River State to a military colony because he don't put military administrator to govern states. And even without being a lawyer, I can tell that is gross and it is illegal. And if we go through what don't happen in time past with Governor of Wike,
yes, Joshua Dariye.
Joshua Dariye, the Supreme Court clearly say the president not get such power. So I don't know where President Tinubu has this power to do this thing. And for me personally, the power grab. Not about 2027.
But you know the people for River State we're going to happy about this thing. They no go think as in a power grab. They feel they happy say, oh, thank God say that thing don't go. People know they. But what if the general atmosphere like people they generally they happy say, oh, sin don't go, or people they generally would say in they go. What's in the real?
If you get like 8 to 9 people waiting against what they happen. Because yes, most people know life in the beginning because they see and say like person of Wike, but in order to be people's governor, implement the minimum wage like Lagos, if they do work, why they do projects, if they promote civil servants where we can store their growth, you know, people friendly, people oriented governor. So whatever agreements when we can enter before they become governor, people not resistant. The man don't consider himself to the people of River State. All of the people not listen again. So all these things really happen. People they see them as distraction on the governor. And this one now we don't happen now. We don't be full stop. Now complete power grab. Because initially 6 months, hello, you don't even have the powers in the first place. Constitutionally to do it. And we know, taking from what's in talk, the 6 months they say we should extend them. And by 2026, the campaign. So this is what they like. So ultimately, what Mr. President do now power grab. He not get anyhow where anybody want to come. He not get anyhow where anybody want to come. And it's very unfortunate. And with what happened, so it still set off a chain reaction. We don't process what happened. If the president don't make the delicate situation worse, there's no way fast people go take this in line low. Other parts of the country, though, what about the opponent? The man now, the president now don't throw the governor under the bus because of the interest of his community. And people they ask, if the former governor helped you in River State, which we know always is thought, okay, yes, you don't appoint them. But in the South APC government, okay, what more? So you don't sacrifice the whole state over and above the interest of one man. Ultimately, for you as president. Because if you go back in time, like I tell somebody this morning, this thing should be like Congo. And it reminds me of what happened 2013, 2014, when President Jonathan made the same mistake with the government when they became their problem with President Jonathan.
Where make this Wike take over now?
Because now people now go the question, where you derive your power? It's set up process for every other part of the country, and we don't know where this whole thing now go lead to now from this moment. Because people don't go quiet for the city of Port Harcourt, and now never like this is definitely bad state also. So the apprehension and all the things, people this backward.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As you follow me talk, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Make on a day safe, make on a day calm, I beg. Thank you so much.
But you know our brothers now, people must and we just pray nothing bad, but the president will hear from river people.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. Prince Francis Chilaka, I heard that. He said, did you hear what he said?
No.
Oh, we didn't hear all this. I think you were listening to him. Apologies.
At the point, it wasn't too clear.
It wasn't clear. It may have been network. Sorry. So he did say that most rivers, but that the atmosphere, it's basically like the way it was when they announced that result, that presidential election result by 4 a.m. So everywhere just be quiet and moody like that. Say people know everywhere just be moody. Say people know just get joy right now. And it talk say people they feel say obviously as they analyze the president's speech, say that they feel say the president clearly takes sides because for everything about his speech, in reprimand Fubara, blaming Fubara for not his inability to do this, his inability to do this and that, but without also understanding that the Fubara that you're blaming that he did not do this, is he fighting himself? Was he now fighting with people? And who are those people he's fighting? Who is the leader of those people he was fighting with? And why this fight lead to this level? Why the president is silent on those things? Why he not talk about them? And he just a reprimand only for Fubara. He ended up by saying that the president may likely be hearing from Rivers people soon. I don't know what he means by that anyway. But I would like Mickey take your reaction, then we'll enter inside.
No. I started from when I started. I told you that every step Mr. President has taken to resolve the crisis in Rivers State, it was biased. And I stand by it.
So yes, even to the common men now, they don't see him because the common people for the streets, but inside River State, randomly now think, say, I
stand by that Mr. President was biased, and that Mr. President was looking more in terms of his own political survival than the interest of the ordinary common people in River State.
So okay, all right, let's quickly move on to other issues. Now there's been double explosion. We don't know what's in the third matter go be like. So speaking about this confrontation and this issue with Rivers people, the Ijaw Youth Council IYC said it averted what could have been a significant bloodbath rather on Abalama, Asaritoru Local Government Area of Rivers State, last Saturday during a reception in honor of the Minister of the Capital Territory, yes, Wike. And the IYC, in a statement today, Tuesday, by its Secretary General, Maobuye Nangiobu, said the event was held to provoke the Ijaw youth to engage themselves in fisticuffs that could have resulted in carnage and put the peaceful community under military lockdown, but say they get to hold themselves for that matter. You think, say, Wike, after speaking what the Ijaws perceived as ill of them by saying that who be the Ijaws, say them be the minority of the minority. Remember that statement when you make for that outing, that's in media chats, when they ask them, say, when the Asawana boys in the talk, say, what they mean by the what they mean, say, by the time the law speaks, the Asawana will die. Make I even look at that, go get that video. Say, when law speaks, the Asawana will die. Say, Ijaw people think, say, they feel be leaders. Say, that then be the minority of the minority in River State. And again, I say, if Ijaw is minority, I like to repeat it. For those who are watching, I'm sure they know River State very well. Now, the Ikwere local government has only 3 local governments. Sorry, the Ikwere people occupy only 3 local governments in River State, including Port Harcourt, making it 3.5 because it just gets part of Port Harcourt, or Krika get the rest of Port Harcourt too. So if Ikwere will get just about 4 local government, I say, is my majority. And then Ijaw get stay in almost 7 or 8 local governments in River State. Because if you could name them part of Port Harcourt local government, Okrika, Ogubolo, Opobonkoro, Bonny, Degema, Buguma, Ahoda, Asaritoro, as he said, and so many other local governments. So if they are in all these local governments, how do you call them a minority? And then the next weekend, you want to attend a function in their community. Could it be truly, is it true that such a statement is really inciting to the Ijaw people? And then attending that event was actually to evoke more of their anger. Make we listen to that in one topic.
All this and the law speaks. All law speaks. Law speaks. All this Asawana will die. And law speaks. All this Asawana will die. And the law has spoken. All this and let me tell you something. And people should have that right. It just does not constitute the majority of the Niger Delta. People must speak out the truth. Heaven will not fall. You only die once, not 2 times. It just does not constitute the majority of the Niger Delta. What nonsense every day you wake up? Ijaw will do this. In Akwa Ibom, Ijaw cannot be governor. In Delta, Ijaw is the minority of the minority. With all due respect to our late elder statesman, Edwin Clark, he's from Delta. He had never produced Ijaw man to be governor of Delta. He had never. The only place Ijaw man can solely be governor is in Bayelsa State. Not in Edo, not in Rivers, a minority of the minority. Out of our own benevolence, live and let live.
So you hear now a lot of people, they also talk, say what's in the president did talk. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Let me take a reaction to that. So do you think that it was really very provocative for Wike to attend that event on Saturday after he make all this kind of statement we make? Maybe he really want anger the Ijaw people, because now waiting some of them they talk about. Before we go to the sections where the president could
I totally believe that first of all, attending that event after talking down on a tribe was the height of it. And it simply shows you how callous, how insensitive our political class have become. And this is the same man tomorrow would go to these people and ask them to vote for his candidate. You see how funny the life is? Just because you have some few people from a particular tribe that you are feeding, that you are bribing, that you are giving money to come and gather on your behalf, does not give you the right to speak down on an entire tribe. And that's why I keep saying, and I maintain it, that our leaders, our political leaders, do not have patriotism running through their veins. They do not understand what unity is. They do not understand what peace, justice, and fairness is. All they understand is how to embezzle and how to use poverty to hold the people down.
Now, speaking about the president and the suspension of the governor of River State, a lot of people have quoted the Constitution by saying that the president himself does not have powers to suspend an existing president. In fact, they even likened it to what happened, I think, sometime in during Jonathan's administration, when I think Jonathan wanted to suspend, I think, the Borno State governor. Then I think that would have been a Shetima that time.
That was 2013. I think about 3 states.
I think that was in 2013. Yes, that was in 2013. Yes, that was in 2013. Yes, at that time, the deputy governor, members of the River State House of Assembly then too were part of it. And I mean, people are saying that this was already put to rest at that time because this issue was addressed. If this issue was addressed in 2013, after Obasanjo's tenure, when Obasanjo had tried this before, why do you think the president, Bola Tinubu, had tried to do this, especially without the consent of the National Assembly? Because this decision, it taken without inviting the National Assembly, unilaterally, just by himself. Sir?
Precious.
Sir?
I'm gonna sound sarcastic, but do we have a National Assembly?
We do, sir.
Is the legislative arm functional in Nigeria today?
Yes, sir.
How? The only time they are functional is when they sit and suspend their members. The only time that they are functional is when they ask their members not to review what is happening in the National Assembly. The only time they are functional is when they come against after a member who speaks against the way the country is being governed. But when it comes to real governance, when it comes to putting the executive on their toes, we do not have a National Assembly. You're saying you have a National Assembly. Have the National Assembly been able to explain to Nigerians how the money used in buying a presidential jet was gotten? Have they? Have they been able to explain to Nigerians at what point an approval was given for the presidential jet to be bought? So you cannot say you have a functional National Assembly when they don't understand their left from their right. Don't forget that this same National Assembly, led by the Senate President Akpabio, told you that whatever the president brings to them, they will approve. Even the one he is conceived or the one is about to be conceived will be approved. So for you to be saying he took a decision unilaterally without informing the National Assembly.
Just passed the bill for the tax reform bill for third reading.
Which one? Tax.
In fact, they ordered the tax reform bill. Then on the National Assembly members want make people like me now, with the YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, we could begin pay taxes. Yeah, we could get office and
that is what. See,
so
the National Assembly understands
of regulation. I will come use social media. I will stay on from regulation.
It's not about regulation. It's about trying to stifle public opinion.
So
that's what they're trying to do.
It's
about gagging the people. No, don't say anything. So it's not about whether you don't want you to pay tax or not. No, it's about gagging the nation. Show me one bill this National Assembly has passed since they came into effect to talk about the hunger in the land, to talk about the insecurity in the land. Show me one bill. So when we sit down and we say we have a National Assembly, I am embarrassed, honestly speaking. It's an embarrassment to say you have a National Assembly.
Okay, so let's go and
if what the president has taken a natural decision to suspend an elected governor, it's an impeachable offense.
So now
who will start it?
So make we go visit that section 305 of the Constitution where the president talk about. By that section 305, if you look critically, that section 305 also shows say the president go need 2/3 votes of the National Assembly for such a suspension to be valid. But right now, we be say the president no carry on with 2/3 of the National Assembly or even requesting for the consent of the National Assembly again. No vex. This one way intake say it take effect immediately. You go still hold. Or that means what's in the president do there unconstitutional. But lots of questions to be asked about. Make I go to other issues. Right? But you can join me, please. Nigerians, please quickly jumping on this conversation before we go to the next conversation. So you can call the WhatsApp number, yeah? The WhatsApp number is on the pinned post, and I just posted it again too. It's 0817-029-4077. I hope it's clear. See, if you go to the that link there and you refuse to go, it will take you, it may have a 404 error. Click on the homepage. If you click on that homepage, then it will take you to redirect you to the live show, and then you can join me. So just check out. If you click on that pinned post, it go carry you go. If you give you 404 error, but if you check on that, it will tell you go homepage. If you click on the homepage, and it go redirect you, come back. So just try so that you can join us. I love us to have us say in this conversation. That's the essence of this, where we can talk without holding anything, keeping anything back, and being able to express ourselves without any hindrance whatsoever. So please do what to call us, or you can call live the WhatsApp line 0817-029-4077. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello.
Hello, Precious. Good afternoon from here.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sam, calling from Georgia.
You're welcome.
I was just listening to what you guys, your analysis on what's going on in River State.
Yes, please.
Let me be honest with you, man. We have been state captured.
Hey.
These are not serious.
So you mean say for Georgia, USA, on our president Donald Trump will just tell the governor of your state, I hereby sack you because of the problem going on?
It's not even possible. It's not even possible. So the two of them have been state captured, and on top of being state captured, all this insecurity going on in the north, killings and all the rest of them, how the government ever, impose what they call
a state of emergency.
State of emergency. There's a lot of killings going on over there. He hasn't done. This is to tell you the much hate they have for us that are in the south, the easterners or whatever you call it. These people, listen, man, until we actually stand up on our feet and say enough is enough. We will keep on. We'll just keep going, keep turning around. These people, they know where we are going because we're still captured. People, they're just very scared. Nobody wants to react. What this mandate is something that is really uncalled for. How can a governor being elected by the people? They want to do the same thing they did to nowhere. You see what happened in nowhere before? You see what the insecurity going nowhere? That's what they want to impose in. You must talk this. What is even wrong with this man that has a mustache like a Hitler? What is wrong? What is?
Which man get mustache like Hitler?
Just seeing that little wicked man of the man. That's a mustache like a Hitler.
Eh.
Okay. You know what? You check Hitler and check Wike and see if it's not a Wike's whatever. You may talk about Hitler. That man. Oh my good Lord. Anyways, the only thing I need to say is the river state or whatever, they have to stand up. I'm sorry I have to say what I have to say. They have to bluff everywhere to bluff the pipeline so that they where this Nigerian thing was from. Let it be. This is getting a little bit too much. Watch what is going on. Nigeria is still redeemable until we come to a realization that country is not working. The better for us, so we're just wasting our time in that country. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye, Joe, my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Did you have to end it with bye-bye, Joe? Okay, so please click on the link to get into the studio. When you click on the link, it will show you 404 error with a homepage under. Click on that, go to homepage under. When you click on the homepage under, it will show you the live studio. It will show you the live show that is ongoing right now. And you click on that show, that live show, and put in your details, input your details, and access the studio. That's how you can access the studio. So it will be actually better for you if you can access the studio live. There's been lots of messages, reactions. I don't even know where to start from. The message and don't forget. LSD say the caller, they be no. Well, me, they on fire too. Inside me, cause of this River State matter. And then Charles says, this is bull crap. Calm down now. This is me. I'm not bull crap. It is me talking to you. I am not bull crap. Zanda Eni says, enough is enough. Division of Nigeria starts immediately. All right. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello? Hello? I'm very well, thank you. Good evening.
It's Charles again from South Africa.
Charles, help me increase the volume for your voice smaller. In case you did bedroom, enter parlor, so that your voice will come up. Okay,
it's Charles.
Charles, welcome. From South Africa, welcome, Charles. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm following your program. It's one drama to another drama. One problem to another problem. We are sick and tired of seeing these things coming out from They're not happy. It's very painful. We still have relatives there. We have people there we can look up to. What is happening in River State is uncalled for. Which, I don't know, Fubara is an elected governor who has all the powers to run the state. Tinubu is just doing this thing because of 2027. It's all about state capture.
And he never rule us finish for this 2020. This one will be inside though. We don't talk of 2027.
That's what I'm saying. He has not done anything tangible for Nigerians. All what is present in his 2027. Okay, you punish Fubara, you punish everybody, but you leave Wike. How does it work like that? Why can't you remove Wike and see whether the problem will not stop? I don't understand this man. You see, we need to learn a lot of things. In Nigeria, it's putting that state in trouble. Let me tell you, Precious. Let me tell you, 4 states in Nigeria control Nigeria economy: Rivers, Delta, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom. If he temper those 4 states, he's crippling Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Charles. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Make I quickly take some messages. So this person say dictatorship at play. I think there was someone there was someone else who sent me a message and said the link is not working. The link is working. Just follow what I said to you. Click on that link. It shows you 404 error with a home page on that. Click on the home page. It takes you to the home page. It takes you to the live, the section that is live. And then you can click on it, input your details, and it will bring you straight to the house. I just told you. I've tried myself and it's working, so I do know that it works, right? John Terry says they want to arrest Fubara with EFCC. As in come out and now they go arrest him. Prince Francis Chilaka, did they hear this one? Say they want to arrest Fubara with EFCC. Now the game. As they don't suspend them, that means the immunity don't close, so they will come arrest them. Then who will come be the governor?
The administrator.
So the suspension come out immunity for anybody immediately.
Yes, now.
Then Wike come day. Yes, it's no hold Wike. Oh wow, interesting. Okay, good one. All right. Okay. This message here says people where they fight for seats. That's their business. Oh my God. All right. Well, 4 lines are open. We have a lot of conversations to get into, but let's quickly also pressure link please just flagship. I beg you, just redirect as I told you. You would see that it will work because I tried it myself and it's working. So just redirect as I told you. Click on the link, follow it, and then get that 404 error. Click on the home page from there, and then you navigate through to the studio. I assure you, you can access the studio through it. Just try. You can do this. Okay, so going on to other issues, I hear say speaking on other things. Where do we even start from? Because there are other issues to talk about. Well, the Ijaw people, the Ijaw youth, we don't tell Fubara to sack Wike or forget 2027. Obviously now. To tell President Tinubu to sack Wike or forget 2027. Obviously, there is no need to sack Wike, and there's no need for him to think about 2027 because he don't grab the 2027 right now. He don't collect them for River State, so he hold them down. So we could leave that story to another story entirely. What's his name now? Now, Senate has passed a bill. So there is this bill. The Senate passed a bill for second reading, a bill for social media platforms, TikTok, Meta, Twitter, and others, including me, with YouTube, to establish a physical office within the country. That if you don't have an office, you cannot operate. Now, the bill seeks amending the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023 and was sponsored by Ned Nwoko, representing Delta North Senatorial District. Now, he said a lot about it. I would like to go here and by myself, listening talk, and make know whether this will be another way and style or system for the Akpabio-led Senate or the President Bola Tinubu-led
President, this bill, therefore, is not an attack on these platforms. It's a call for equity and fairness. It's a demand for respect and recognition of Nigeria's status as a global leader in digital engagement. In furtherance of our commitment to a structured and accountable digital space, this bill also mandates all bloggers operating in Nigeria to have an office that is verifiable in any of the capital cities across the country. They must keep proper records of the employees and belong to recognized national bodies, which shall have its headquarters in Abuja. We cannot continue to have a situation where individuals operate anonymously, spreading information mostly false
without any structure or accountability. Just like traditional media houses, bloggers must be properly registered and regulated to ensure professionalism, transparency, and responsibility in their operations. Mr. President and my colleagues, I urge all to support the passage of this bill. It's a bold step towards ensuring that Nigeria's digital space is not only vibrant, but also fair and just for all stakeholders.
But bloggers are slightly different because they can do their business from their bedrooms, they can do their business from their cars, they can do their business from the plane, anywhere they are. So I think the best thing is for the bill to go for second reading, and after the second reading, while we are at a public hearing, a lot of people could be invited to make their inputs. I'm very certain that by the time it comes back to us for possible passage into law, it definitely would have been different and much more streamlined. But at least the general idea is there, and his job was just to provide the general principles. It will be clear. I don't want the world to misunderstand us as if the Senate is trying to gag the social media. No, that is not the intention here. The intention is for tax purposes and also to have a register of. In fact, it's good for them because now with the new tax innovation, if you are not making as a company up to 50 million in a year, you are exempted from taxation. And if you are an individual trader and you don't make up to 1 million, you don't have to pay tax. Or you make 1 million or under, you don't have to pay tax. So for the purpose of tax and for the purpose of clarity of what you are doing and for record purpose, I think this is a good bill. However, I was looking to see whether there is any way it will tend to gag the freedom of expression or tend to stop the business of, in quote, blogger.
No, I like the way where the Senate presidents used to put them at the end, saying they find way where they will say it tends to gag the freedom of expression. But when you regulate people, have you not stylishly gagged them? Because the mainstream media today, we know, they're controlled and gagged. So if you
we
bring
have
that same
clowns.
regulation when they don't
Precious. We have clowns as leaders.
So
Clowns.
if they regulate these platforms, have they not gagged them? So that means people alternative media has become a thing. And only through alternative media people they go get information. So if you don't say make alternative media stop, is it not you stylishly gagging them?
That's why I'm laughing. As I said, you have clowns in the National Assembly. At a time when Nigerians are talking of hunger, when Nigerians are crying under poverty, when about 20 million Nigerian children are out of school, when Nigerians cannot access good medical care, when Nigerians cannot be proud of saying we have electricity supply, when insecurity has ravaged the land, your senators are busy talking about bloggers and the others. And then the Senate president exposed everything. He said it's all about taxation. I won't be shocked. And there's a bill trying to dictate or trying to calculate how much air every Nigerian consumes and how much tax they will pay for the air. The National Assembly that is asking for bloggers to be accountable. How accountable is the National Assembly? How transparent is National Assembly? Charity begins from home. So I expect them to be in the forefront, to open up themselves for scrutiny, to open up themselves for criticism, to open up themselves for accountability. Then we will know that we have serious people in the National Assembly. Exactly.
How about if they start by telling us exactly how much they pay them? Show us their all the money where they enter there.
Yes, they need to start from there.
Because now
and telling us how much they make from the MDAs that they have oversight functions. So that's why I laughed, and I just don't understand the kind of bills that the people in the National Assembly wake up to and they want to pass. But then he has said to you that the bottom line is for everybody to be paying tax. So I'm waiting for the bill that will also the bill that will compel Agberu, area boys, and political thugs to be paying tax. Because they make a lot of money from politicians, so they too must pay tax.
All right. So information just reaching me has it that there is already military presence in River State as we speak. People have seen military vehicles trooping into River State. If you see the vehicle, you go see and they happen now. And I have another anonymous caller from River State. Let's feel his pulse as he tells us exactly what's going on in the state. Hello, good evening and welcome, and thank you so much for speaking with me. How far now? I beg, tell me. You don't hear me? Brotherly, tell us, waiting they go on for River State right now. We get the pillars say military vehicles don't they already enter inside River State that approach the government house area and they comb areas for inside River State. Not true?
Yes, you did very, very correct if you talk like that, because I think before take their decision on declaring the state of emergency, them already hint all their commanders, their various battles and base to take position. So just as they make the announcement, you can see military trucks and EPC carriers, the roll up around the road and town axis, navigating towards government house as if they go for war. But you see, it is even shameful, to see such vehicles parading the streets of Harcourt. It is irrelevant, I must say, because people know even they go for war. One gun never sound for River State since morning till now. So I wonder why the military, they parade the entire streets of Harcourt as if they go for war. It can't be like say, Russia now come off from Ukraine. They confess
River State. Russia leave Ukraine, enter River State. Go ahead.
So, River people are peaceful people, as everybody know. But the reaction is so high and bad. Well, as you know, the governor is a very peaceful person too. So, order for calm. Of course, you're supposed to know what River State be like when Omea be the governor for the state.
Yes.
Even the military go fit tell you, say, easy. See, I'm a PhD student for peace and conflict resolution.
Okay.
And I can tell you, there is difference between winning a war and getting victory. You can win a war and gain victory. So when you see this type of thing from the federal government, you just know, say them don't know, say they fit conflict, say they go fit win war, but they not go gain victory. If these boys start to come out, as them they come out, it won't be easy. After all, when Ukraine attacked Georgia,
yes,
in 7 days, they don't take over Georgia, right? And then talk, see, then we take over Ukraine in 3 days. That one, 3 years they go. When Gowon invade the eastern region, in talks in 3 days, then we take over the eastern region. That
is when Russia attack Ukraine. They will say in less than less number of days they go take over.
Them say 3 days. Them say 3 days and go take over Ukraine, but it don't turn to 3 years. Now, so when Gowon want attack the eastern zone during the Civil War, them say they go take over the eastern zone in 3 days. But it turned into 3 years. So you see, sometimes when people take action, they don't even do research. Of course, I know the president would only talk to NSA, he would only talk to DSS and police to know the status of the security for this area. If you take this kind of decision, what thing will really happen and all that, if they see any kind of threat. Maybe because the minister visit Abalama and peace be, people no fight. Apart from say, some women go stage for road to peaceful protesters saying no, they no go agree or they no they happy the way the minister and the governor they get conflict. But you see, this thing as if you get two children, because for this context now, the minister and the president's son, the governor, the president's son. So if your two children they fight, what are you supposed to do? Now the first thing, you go call your children come house. Come, what's not going to fight the disgrace us for outside? Because whether or not you like it, international communities are also watching. They are seeing this thing, they know. The social media is there. So whether you think it is an internal conflict maybe between the nation and some other person who don't have interest, who told you? Even China may just be watching to see if conflict will rise. Maybe the tension will get higher than this. Don't be shocked. Even China as a nation may even want to come to this region and then supply arms because they know what they benefit. So as you see reverse people, they're quiet like this. Now, where this thing they happen, I mean, we are flag, they run around, they do one up and down. They don't be so it will be. So the government must come back to the table, come talk, say this thing, how we go do it. Because you know, say when something and then you tell a person bad thing about the person, the first time when you see the person, now looking with the look and with bad eye. So realize people now don't sit down, they watch, they observe. Maybe they don't feel say the minister don't get some parts or some fraction of the job people. But I must tell you, the job people, when they're not ready, both the part I think say you get and the part you don't get, then we'll come back together as one. That's what you don't know about the job people. Before the declaration of the Nigerian Biafra war by Ojukwu, the job people don't first fight for the declaration of Niger Delta Republic. I don't know whether I get that knowledge.
Yes. Before
even this Biafran civil war. So, but the job people know they find trouble. They don't want trouble. Pandey been go visit president some days ago now, and president tell them to make them come back.
Yeah. Tell their son. Let them tell their son to obey the rule of law.
Yes.
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 And I only seen that they talk to the address for the matter.
Yeah, because of a matter, they make them go there now.
No, now wait, I mean only seeing the president be addressed for inside the matter. That's the governor and the president address for the matter.
Because now him be the main, him be the center at the moment. What did they call him? They don't get any issue right now. The Delta State man don't get any issue right now. For those states, they don't get issue. Even Akwa Ibom, majority for Akwa Ibom now, but they don't have any issue at the moment. So the person when they get conflict with him former Oga, now be the person when they raise tension. So what you go ask yourself now, say, how we go to resolve this thing? If my two children are make una come, or you see, make una no fight. Now you bring this man come. People don't know this man before now you can come. Now your son to one, your younger brother. If you don't like this, forgive him. Or you take this part, you take this part, make peace reign.
So as a PhD student for conflict and resolution, and you know River State so well, how you see River State, how you see this matter ending now, as the governor, as the president don't sack the governor right now, that means the immunity don't come out to people. They talk, say if you use EFCC, come pick the governor and all of those issues and all that. How you see this matter moving on? So if you say this action with president take now will calm down the nerves, especially as military don't they patrol everywhere right now.
Well, that decision to carry EFCC go to pursue the governor now will be determined by the action or reaction from the job people. You understand? Yes, when there is no conflict, there is no peace. If you must have peace, you must be ready for conflict. You should be ready for war. As it be now, Russia now should be the one that get some agreement with US on how they resolve
because of Donald Trump. Yes.
Yes. Now, because Ukraine also been engaging for battle. If you watch, in the last week, Ukraine shoot one missile, we will hit the center of Russia for Moscow, which is the capital. Because Ukraine repelled them, even though they be like, say, now, then they win the war. Ukraine will gain victory.
Okay. So as it stands now, you see your Niger Delta brothers for inside River State coming down. 2 pipeline, and they don't bust already. 1 for Omoko, one for inside Bodo for Gokana. You see them continuing with this action, or they go just calm down now. Men don't show now, military don't come. You see them coming down.
Military no be military na human being.
Only uniform them wear.
But now uniform them wear now. We also get the people they call native police too now.
Native police, that is native doctor police.
Not be native doctor now. Should be government army. Them they get their own army. Now, if you go for social media, you see where people they parade themselves. They show the same gun where the military get them so they get them. Even for social media. Not be you go see AK-47, you go see GP, you go see Brandy, you go see RPG. Then they now. There's a sample of social media, and those things then they use they go fight for war. So not be like say if person there at peace, it means saying they fear no. Maybe because they enjoy the environment where they. Now, make we go back to the pipeline where boss. Which people boss am?
We never know. Nobody don't take responsibility. Now be the problem now. President they vex now. How people go just go they scatter the wealth of the nation? What be the nation wealth?
But the state of emergency no go fit address that pipeline where boss.
Why? Military go show now. But military go show now. They'll come begin go around those area them.
But military do when they give Tantita to secure pipeline.
Oh, when they give Tompolo to secure pipeline.
Yes, now military no did that time. Nigeria no get army that time. Nigeria get army now. If they give Tompolo contract, make it secure pipeline. Maybe them use their mouth to talk them. Would they read them for news now? So if the military go feel secure the pipeline like that, why they can't issue contract? So you see, the way around these things is dialogue. Declaring the state of emergency is not the best.
Thank you. Make I not let you stress yourself too much. I appreciate you. But what's be the general atmosphere right now? As military don't rove around everywhere already. What's be the general atmosphere?
You're not gonna know what thing they happen for creek now. And it's not like people they run for street. Nobody's running. Nobody's afraid. Rivers people don't see waiting past this one. And this one are just people come out from barrack now. Rivers people don't see soldiers when they use padlock, lock their mouth when they are
that one day.
Soldier we know the talk.
Yes.
They lock and
when they hands up the waka. They hands up the waka.
Yes, now.
Yes.
So this one now is like good morning. You know when they wake up for morning they give you tea. Now appetizer not be gari and soup. So this one they like morning thing. Then everybody just the governor has said everybody should maintain peace. It is too early. The Commission for Information not say it is too early to make any comment or make any decision. But rivers people should remain calm. Now why you see things be like this? But I go urge the president making call these two people. Make una come, make we settle this thing.
Thank you.
Because from the things where people they talk the Yamayama or talk with the Air Force side, then they talk in 2027 follow the cause all this problem. Yes, now, and the reason why would they have that? But peace must come to play. But for peace to come, there must be war. You have to be ready for war for peace to come.
Wait, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Well, you heard that, Prince Francis. I have people waiting for me at the back studio. Make I go attend to them. Then I'll come back and take your reaction to this matter. Hello. Good evening. Onaro, right? Onaro. I've been keeping you waiting. Welcome. Go ahead. I can't wait for you to express yourself.
Yes, my name is Frank Onero.
Oh, I talk from my brother from Niger Delta.
Yes, I call from. I talk from Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia. Onaro, welcome. Go ahead. We could hear you.
The thing surprised me that the president took that extraordinary step to declare state of emergency to remove Fubara as governor. I go talk here, say they already don't map their plan, both Wike and the president. They know for corner, say they won't find any way take remove Fubara. Me I not be supporter of Fubara from the initial time because him and Wike now they join hand during election, manipulate and utter result as they like, they favor themselves. You understand? They did that. But like I said the other time when I call on your program, people from Niger Delta, they respectful of your status of who you be, but they're not the fear. If president and the people say Niger Delta people they fear, they don't battle soldier before, may they know.
You hear what's in that your brother for Niger Delta talk? Say they don't see the ones who get padlock for mouths when they talk.
I don't want to talk the category. They don't battle soldier.
See this one no be problem.
Not be mopo, not be police, not be navy. They don't battle soldier one-on-one. Soldier not defeat them. They not defeat soldier. The match end for draw. Where Yaradua say, okay, may everybody come arrange. May things arrange. So now the initial gra they go use. But if president, as he gets more wisdom, carry another Niger Delta person as military person, take put. If to say go carry somebody from Southwest or one malam may become military administrator, the heat for start immediately. If for start instanta, but that everybody they maintain.
The weather for hot.
Yeah, the weather go hot. Yes, but the way it can carry all these politicians, they get sense. Not be say they be mugu. They get sense. So
why do you use our country now?
No, their own sense not to pack money for pocket now and to use the power where they get to oppress.
Okay.
Now be the sense where they get. Not be for the good of Nigerians. The average politicians. Okay, no, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'd always like know the time when you allocate so I go know how to structure my talk.
Oh yeah, now normal is supposed to be 2 minutes so that if you talk your own, other people talk your own. You don't say Wike they talk say yendeba. You know, you understand, eh? So
may Wike go park where? If not be saying the office way ho. If not be saying the office when he ho. All of that they use office to the oppress. Niger Delta people not need office to do what they want to do. Whether you be governor, president, anything. We not saying if we blood or hot.
Thank you, Honorary. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. I talked to someone again. Brink is here with me. Brink, good evening and thank you so much for joining us. Would you rather turn on your video or you remain without video? Brink, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Brink,
you.
So?
Sorry. Yeah,
all right.
sorry,
Thank you. Welcome. Brink, where you call from?
I'm calling from Accra.
Ghana. Are you Nigerian?
I'm from Port Harcourt.
Ah. So your Briggs na Briggs. So that means you be Calabar boy. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make
all right. See, what I want to say about this is I've been following this. I've been following this from the onset, and I'm just asking myself, why is injustice gaining stand? Why?
So you feel saying injustice with this?
Why are we allowing godfatherism to gain stand? That is what I'm just asking myself. Because there's a saying that says, when good people don't speak, that's when you see all this bad, illegal stuff. I studied psychology in school, and I've been watching this political space for a while now, and I've been noticing a lot of things. Now, let me take back to Obasanjo tenure when Tinubu was a governor.
Yes.
Do you remember that Tinubu, when they stopped Lagos State allocation, Supreme Court was the one that told the world that you cannot hold a state allocation. That is illegal. I still have the video and the evidence, everything on my phone. But do you know that the same Supreme Court is holding River State allocation? Why all this? Now, another point people are not even interested in is our votes don't count.
How?
You are
Why you talk
hearing
like
the
that?
principal. The principal is telling you that he installed him. How will you install somebody into government? No, we're in democracy. Our vote is what put that man inside. And you are so bold about it on a national TV. And nobody is seeing the illegality. And everybody is just quiet about it. And you boast and boast. And after you did all those things, you still even insulted elders, fathers.
But the people that are supposed to do something about it, is it not the same president now? Because now the president now supposed to direct the authorities to arrest them for committing a crime.
No, you are not getting me.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
I understand you.
Now, what I'm trying to let you know is, I'm talking about Pandef here.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the president. So if the president...
Okay, so Pandef supposed to react. Okay.
No, Pandef don't react. Pandef don't step into the matter. But we all saw the video online where he was insulting Pandef.
Oh, yes.
That is where I said insulting our fathers.
Okay. Elders, yes, sir.
Thank you. And now you ask yourself, how will a leader come out on the national TV and act such way? And everybody kept quiet about it. And now the problem is there have been so many protests. There have been so many protests going on. At least the president is supposed to listen to the people. At least know why the people are protesting, know why they are crying. But you left all these things. And now, let me tell you something. Do you know that they have been asking what happened to the pipeline? What happened?
Nobody don't answer now.
No be River State people. No be Rivers youth. I go tell everybody, no be Rivers youth. River State people are very calm people. We are not violent. We
So
know
now
they go break all those kind of...
So now what's going to happen to that now? Now Holy Spirit touch the pipeline.
Therefore ask the principals. You know, wait, make a play you take. You know, say, before now, since morning, my people don't call me, say soldiers don't come ground already. So why we soldiers start getting positions since morning? Why? There's a plan already.
Thank you, Briggs. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. All right, I have somebody else joining me, Carrie. Carrie, good evening, and thank you so much for joining me. Apologies for keeping you waiting. Welcome, Carrie.
Precious.
Carrie, your face not fine, sir. I'm fine. I'm supposed to be fine. No, that fine. Rhetoric answer.
No, Precious. You know, my face not supposed to fine at all. My face not supposed to fine at all. Because the things do too much. The things do too much. Really. Priscilla, I agree to you, sir. I agree to you, sir. Madam
Precious. Not be small matter.
Madam Precious, just because of one person, why we just go round and round, because of one person. It's so sad. It's so sad because of one person, because of Wike, or because of Wike. Why? Tinubu is declaring state of emergency now for Rivers State. For what reason? For what reason? When you go look at the Constitution, before you declare state of emergency, you go not say anarchy do for that state. There is no anarchy in Rivers State. Fubara tried to deliver what did they say make you do for what they call it when this court say exactly. The people when you say they carry flag, everybody see them, they don't defend. But they take and they do yeah. President when he claim say he fight democracy, he fight military. In short, the way this thing going to be, Precious, ask yourself. Since I did Nigeria, Military regime, everything we get from Nigeria, military regime, I do one. Since we get this so-called democracy, we sing every day since 1999. Waiting democracy don't do for Africa. What do they do for Nigeria?
Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, they come.
They come. They come. Oh. But the ones we get now.
We get hope, need to keep person.
No, wait. See. The road one we get now, are they motorable? Why would they wait for the one way level come? The roads we have now, are they motorable? Will they wait for the one way level come? You see, man, in short, Tinubu should be very careful. That's look up at that day now. He say terrible president, the reverse. So how you want to mark his name when you don't leave? Buhari na history now. Buhari na history now. A day go come, no matter even they won't stay there 2027 to 30, whatever, even to 50, that day go always expire. So what does he want to cast the name on? What? You know, it's so sad. It's so sad.
Thank you. Thank you
Always
so much,
calling
Kerry.
Fubara. We came there for Port Harcourt there. Insult everybody for the other data. Insult the people where they there. Nobody fit talk. You cannot call Wike to what to stop Tinubu to say, hey, Wike, I beg, leave Port Harcourt, leave Rivers State, they do what they do. Focus on here. No, you go talk this one. You go talk for Lagos. You go talk for APT. You go talk for there. Waiting.
Thank you, Kerry. Thank you so much,
Pressure.
Kerry. All right, sir.
Thanks for your show here, and I really appreciate that. But the way you take come out for VOP, I was not happy. Oh. It's okay. It's well.
No, now you know they follow me for social media. I put them for inside this YouTube.
I see them. I see them.
I put them. But the station get their rule. They know like people are not.
I know.
So now what's happening? No, now I wouldn't do that.
Thank God you are still here. Thank God we are still here. And we go follow you anywhere when you enter.
I go protect my mental health where they regulate me. Nah, I don't come here where they no go regulate me. Nah, they don't consider what carry the regulation.
It's well.
And they pray they don't pass the bill so that they don't go finish my mental health.
It's well. In short, I will rally people. I rally my people who will support you morally, financially, everything. You need to stand up. Make it stand well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kerry. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Praise Chilaka, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Kerry.
Yeah.
All right, Prince Francis Chilaka, you've heard what Kerry said. What do you have to say about it? But before that, let me quickly show us a footage of the military still trooping it, and did he do merry-go-round around River State? They fool everywhere, man. Armored vehicles, we don't see them. So your parting shot, Prince Francis, make I let you make good drink water, drop cup. Your parting shot, sir, in all of this that's going on.
Well, there's a saying in Igbo land that the man who is good at cutting neck will never allow you to take a knife behind him. We're in Nigeria, in a country where we saw what ACN, then when Bola Tinubu was still in ACN and was the governor of Lagos State, we all saw how he resisted the government of Jonathan and the government of Obasanjo from going ahead with imposition of state of emergency. But like I keep saying, our political class, they are bereaved of history. They do things and they forget that they have done things. They say things and they forget that they have said it. I pray, like I keep saying, I'll keep saying it. What we need in this country is justice, fairness, and equity. We do not need peace. Because the peace we keep getting is peace of the graveyard. And so I am appealing to government. It is better to judge than to war. When the war will start, I can assure you, nobody knows when and how the war will end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prince Francis Chilaka. Thank you for making out your time to support this platform. I appreciate you. I promise you, say, this ministry, when we finally can reach the permanent site, we will make you the general overseer for the ministry.
The permanent site will one carry, and when you begin pay tax.
Hey, not the one will begin make money, we go pay tax. When we don't make money, how will you pay tax? But when we reach that bridge, we will cross.
When I go pay tax, when blog and go pay tax.
I appreciate it, and I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who has joined us. Oh yeah, make you help me subscribe. If this is your first time joining this platform and you never subscribed before, waiting you did wait for now. Waiting you go game now. Oh yeah. Press the subscription button, follow us so that you will lead this ministry to the permanent site. Help me subscribe. Also turn on the notification button. Let's know how this whole thing, they do you for body. I appreciate all of it now. We will continue to bring on breaking stories and developing stories as they happen. I'll keep in touch with people on ground or my men on ground in River State to know what's going on, and I'll bring you up to date and up to speed with what's going on. I love all of you and I appreciate you. If you're in River State, please stay safe. If you have a family in River State, please acknowledge them to stay safe and calm. We hope that the situation would be taken care of in no time. I love you guys. Please protect your mental health and have yourself an amazing evening. Good night and God bless you. Thank you once more, Prince Francis Chilaka. Good night and God bless you.